Hey guys, AuspiciousSausie here, and welcome to episode 18 of my Everton series for Football Manager 2015. First of all, I'd like to say I apologise if you can hear crickets in the background. They are very loud at the moment and are quite annoying as well, so I do apologise for that. But there's not really anything I can do as they are outside and it is pitch black out there currently, so yeah. Probably nothing I could do even if it was daytime, so yeah, I apologise. Alright, so this is of course the mid-season review, and that is pretty much what it's going to be consisting of is the fixtures and the transfers. We'll get into that first. There wasn't really any activity to mention. The only player that came to the club was Gonzalo Fernandez from Nacional, Uruguayan central midfielder. Pretty decent, already loaned him out as you can see, which was the other little bit of activity that we've done, but he's a very solid central midfielder, quite decent defensively, very good passing, first touch, somewhat decent physicals, got a little bit of pace on him there, again good determination, which is something I always go for, and vision and work rate's not too bad either, so quite happy to get him. Got a work permit as well, which was quite lucky. 2.2 million, not too bad, that deal was already set up as well. Yeah, like I mentioned, just loaned him back out. We also managed to sell Eva Beniga, player who, you know, on paper would have been a really good player for us, but he never really performed all that well. And he started to complain. And yeah, it was a little bit hefty on the wage bill as well. So we sold him to Palermo for 4.5 million. Kind of happy to see the back of him, to be honest. A lot of the younger guys were actually performing better than him. So yeah, happy to get him out, and saves my ears from his constant complaining about first team football and stuff like that. And as I mentioned, Fernandez went to Young Boys in Switzerland. So yeah, that was the only little bit of transfer activity that was that we took part in, I guess. And the fixtures, as you can see by the table, we were in 6th. I'll show you that at the end of the video, or towards the end. The previous game was the Liverpool game, the Merseyside derby, which, if I can find it, was right there, the 1-1 draw. A little bit disappointing, like I mentioned at the end of last episode. But again, we didn't lose the game, so I guess it's kind of a positive, and it was away from home as well, at Anfield, so yeah. Next game was a 4-0 drubbing of Fulham at home. Very happy to bounce back with a win after that disappointing derby. Lascelles scored an own goal, and a Lukaku hat-trick obviously sealed the deal for us. As you can see, we kept them to 1 shot on target, and they didn't actually score, so that's, you know, always a good sign for us. The next game was against Feyenoord in the Europa League group stage. This was away in Holland, and again, a Romelu Lukaku hat-trick sealed the deal once again. Things were a bit more even in the stats. Toornstra, pretty decent Dutch player. Quite familiar with him with my Dutch Players Only series with Ajax. He's quite a player, and he managed to get a goal for them. The next game was a disappointing 2-1 loss to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Lukaku got our only goal, as expected. Geibel and Rodwell on the score sheet for Sunderland, and they pretty much dominated us. Doubled most of our statistics as far as shots go, and they actually had more possession, so yeah, full credit to them. And we couldn't get all 3 points there. Next up was the Capital One Cup quarter-final, and we took Arsenal all the way to penalties at home. 2-2 draw after 120 minutes. Lukaku and Baines in extra time. Van Ginkel and Ramsey in extra time for Arsenal. And then Walcott missed his penalty, and none of our players did. So we won 5-4 on penalties. Very happy with that. We kind of dominated Arsenal, but I guess they were fairly, you know, strong in the game, I guess. And yeah, we can only manage to score 2 goals from 8 shots on target, which was a little bit disappointing, but yeah, full credit to Arsenal. They're a pretty decent team, and they're also my team in real life, so I don't mind taking them all the way. The next game was against Tottenham. Could only manage another 2-2 draw, this time coming at home in the Premier League. Leighton Baines with a brace for himself. Hernandez and Heung-min on the score sheet for Tottenham there. It was a fairly even game, so I guess the draw was a fair result. We then followed that up with two disappointing defeats. First of all, coming to QPR away from home, a 2-1 loss. Podolski and Severovic for the QPR, and Jack Mellum got his first goal for the club in the 2nd minute, which was our only shot on target. Then he got injured at the 15-minute mark, and I think it was like a 4-month injury or a 3 to 4 month injury, and that was, quite devastating, especially as he was my, marquee signing kind of thing for this season. We then lost the next game as well, this time at home to Stoke, another 2-1 result. This one was a little bit different. As you can see, Lukaku got our only goal. Mame Diouf, with his, pretty decent pace, managed to get a brace against us. But their defence played quite well, and I guess ours didn't. So, yeah, another loss, very disappointing, both in the Premier League, and that dropped us down in the ladder, so in the table. Sorry. So it was hard to take both of those, but we bounced back after it. Coming at Norwich, a 4-3 victory, very impressive. I think we actually came from 2 behind, I believe. Henry Lansbury, the former Arsenal player, getting a 9 match rating, and being man of the match as well. Lukaku with a brace, Ross Barkley and Joel Campbell on the score sheet for us there, and Chuba Akpom and Lansbury getting a brace for himself. So all the Arsenal players scoring goals for Norwich there. The next game up was against Oxford in the FA Cup 3rd round. A 4-1 home victory, putting us through to the next round. A brace from De La Feu and a brace from Niagolov as well. Impressive stuff there, albeit against a fairly weak side in Oxford. We then beat Aston Villa 4-0 at home. Very impressive result considering we kept a clean sheet, and again only kept them to 1 shot on target. Ross Barkley, Brown, Stones and Campbell on the score sheet for us there. Very happy to see Isaiah Brown get his first goal for the club there, I believe. Southampton was up next, another home game with 3 in a row, and another victory. 2-1 victory over Southampton. Lukaku and Baines getting our goals, and Lallana back at the club that made him, got a goal for them as well. The next game was against Man City, who are currently in 2nd position, or they were at least. This game at home was pretty disappointing, as you can see by the stats here. We lost 2-1. Nasri and Aguero, quite early on, they were 2-0 up in 24 minutes. They finished the game with 3 shots on target, and of course scored 2 goals. They had quite a few injuries, which was quite nice to see. Some real key players there as well. Navas, Nasri, Sterling and company. Lukaku got our goal in the 92nd minute, but as you can see, we should have had a few more, and we really shouldn't have conceded 2 from 3. So I was really, I was quite gutted with that match, to be fair. The next game we bounced back, however, against West Brom away from home. 2-0 victory. Kevin Morales and Lukaku on the score sheet, and absolutely dominated them. 10 shots on target to 2. I'll take that in the clean sheet any day. We then had the Capital One Cup semi-final first leg against Brighton. We got the easy draw, and we actually managed to win this 2-0 away from home. Niagolov opened the scoring, and then Liam Walsh got his first goal for the club and played out a man-of-the-match performance as well. And again, we dominated them quite well. Another 10-shot on target game, and another 2-0 victory. However, it was not to be a dream run. I was expecting big things in the FA Cup as well, but we lost 2-1 at home to Tottenham. Very disappointing. As you can see, we dominated again. Hernandez and Lamella on the score sheet for Tottenham. Ross Barkley opened the scoring for us, however. 9 shots on target for us to 5 shots on target for Tottenham. They edged possession, but we edged the other statistics. And, we lost. Disappointing. And we have the next game, or the final game I played, which was the second leg of the Capital One Cup semi-final. And as you can see, we won 3-1 at home. Lukaku, a Stockdale own goal, and Gioliofu. Marvin Sordell also on the score sheet there for Brighton, which was their only shot on target. That's typical. So that does mean that we are in the Capital One Cup final, and our opponents for that game are unfortunately Manchester United, as you can see there. So I will be doing an episode, or a live comm of that game, as its own episode for you guys, as I'm sure you would like to see us potentially try and win another piece of silverware for the series, another Capital One Cup. If I go into it here, and I go to the... How do I do it? No, it's not history. What am I doing? Overview. Stages. If I go through the results, and that's not what I wanted. Yes, it is. Yes. We did win it one season, 2 seasons actually. We won it back in 2016, and I don't know what happened there, but who cares. 2015 and 2016, we won it back to back. Looking to get my 3rd Capital One Cup, which would be very impressive. Show you the league table now. We currently sit 6th, as you could see before, but there are quite a few games in hand for certain clubs. Like United have 3 games in hand over Liverpool. We have 1 over, the top 3 teams and 2 over Liverpool, so potentially we could go up the ladder a little bit. Tottenham have already played a game more than us, and they're 2 points behind us. So I think that puts us in, fairly decent stead as far as, the top 6 goes. I really, I can't stress it enough that I really want to break into the top 4, get a Champions League spot, and, try and kick on from there as best I can. And that's the main goal for the series at the moment, so really hoping to have a nice, strong end of the season. We haven't really had a strong end to the season in recent years. So I think with that, we could definitely take 4th position and, knock Liverpool out. That would be the ideal situation there. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap this episode up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And once again, I apologise for the crickets in the background. I do live in Australia, so it's, a fairly common problem. And I'm sure you guys have heard them in other videos. Another mention is the Europa League. We do have Twente, the Dutch team, in the first knockout round of the Europa League. So again, that's something else to look forward to for me, I suppose. Or it could just be a diversion for the league. I don't know. Anyways, that's going to wrap this episode up, guys. Don't forget to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.